Hello everyone! What if everything you thought you knew about Clint Walker, the towering cowboy from Cheyenne, was only half the story? Behind that steel gaze and legendary voice was a man grappling with pain, secrets, and a past Hollywood never dared to tell. And now, decades later, his own daughter has broken her silence for the first time. She's revealing the truth about the man the world saw as invincible. This isn't just another Hollywood tale, it's a revelation deeply personal, heartbreakingly real. Stay with us, because what she confesses might just change the way you remember Clint Walker forever. Born Norman Eugene Walker on May 30th, 1927, in Hartford, Illinois, Clint came from humble beginnings. His mother was of Czech descent, and he had a twin sister named Lucille. Life wasn't easy. Like many during that time, Clint left school early to support the family. He worked in a factory, manned the decks of riverboats, and by age 17, he'd joined the United States Merchant Marine. That chapter of his life sailing the seas and serving during wartime taught him grit, discipline, and a quiet courage that would never leave him. After his military service, Clint wandered across Texas, California, and Nevada, taking odd jobs. One of them was as a hotel doorman in Las Vegas at the legendary Sands Hotel. It was there, in the shimmering light of old-school glamour, that destiny came knocking. He caught the eye of famed Hollywood talent agent Henry Wilson, who briefly rebranded him as Jet Norman, but the world would come to know him again as Clint Walker when he was cast in a television series that would define an era. In 1955, Clint landed the lead role in Cheyenne, the first hour-long Western on television. As Cheyenne Bodie, a wandering cowboy navigating post-Civil War America, Clint became a household name with his chiseled jaw, piercing eyes, and unmatched physique. He was every bit the cowboy hero viewers dreamed of. Cheyenne ran for 7 seasons, captivating millions across the country. Warner Brothers capitalized on his appeal, even producing an album that featured Clint's smooth baritone voice singing traditional folk songs. His presence was so commanding that even his peers found it difficult to match. With a 48-inch chest and 32-inch waist, Clint's physical stature posed challenges for casting directors. He was simply too big to blend in. "I either go up against the villain who meets me eye to eye," Clint once joked, "or they toss in 3 shorter actors to even the odds." That strength, while earning him fame, also restricted him. He was typecast forever the cowboy, the rugged hero, and while he starred in successful films like Fort Dobbs, Yellowstone Kelly, and Gold of the Seven Saints, often alongside actors like Roger Moore, his attempts to break free from westerns were rarely embraced, yet Clint tried. He expanded into war films like The Dirty Dozen in 1967, where he played Samson Posey, a gentle giant of a convict in one of the biggest war hits of the decade. He tried comedy too, acting in Send Me No Flowers with Rock Hudson and Doris Day. Even Frank Sinatra took notice, casting Clint in None But the Brave, Sinatra's only directorial venture. But despite these efforts, the industry and his fans kept him in the saddle. He returned to westerns again and again, starring in TV movies like Yuma, The Bounty Man, and cult classics like The Night of the Grizzly, Deadly Harvest, and Snow Beast. Still, behind the strong exterior, Clint was battling demons. His personal life was quietly unraveling. In 1948, he married Verna Garver, and the couple had a daughter named Valerie. In 1950, for 2 decades, they seemed stable. But in 1968, amid the peak of Clint's fame, the marriage ended in divorce. Sources close to the family suggested emotional distance and career pressures had taken their toll. While Clint remarried twice afterward, his emotional scars didn't heal easily. During the years that followed, rumors of alcoholism and depression shadowed his public image. Friends and biographers hinted that Clint's emotional state began to decline. After his divorce, he spoke little about it publicly. But as his roles became fewer and further between, many noticed a man who seemed to carry more weight off-screen than on. His second wife died in 1994, and by then, Clint had largely retreated from Hollywood's spotlight. Then came the accident that nearly killed him. In May 1971, Clint was skiing at Mammoth Mountain, California, when he fell violently and was impaled through the chest by one of his own ski poles, directly into his heart. At the hospital, he was declared dead on arrival, but just as the staff prepared to give up, a young doctor noticed the faintest sign of life. Clint was rushed into emergency surgery. Miraculously, he survived. Even more astonishing, he returned to work 2 months later. Most people wouldn't even be walking. Clint was filming again. He later spoke about the accident with quiet reverence, saying the near-death experience changed him. It stripped away the need for industry approval or public applause. "I just focused on what mattered: family, health, and peace," he said. That brush with death gave him a new lease on life, and he lived with renewed gratitude and clarity. Valerie Walker, daughter of the iconic Clint Walker, lived a life far removed from Hollywood's glare. Quiet, disciplined, and fiercely independent, she charted her own groundbreaking course. In 1976, she became one of the first female commercial airline pilots in the United States. Flying for Western Airlines and later Delta, she commanded jets like the Boeing 727, 737, and 767, shattering barriers in a male-dominated field with poise and professionalism. But Valerie's strength didn't end in the cockpit. She pursued martial arts with equal intensity, earning black belts in Kenpo, Karate, Wing Chun, Jiu-Jitsu, and Aikido. Later, she used her skills to teach self-defense to flight crews and civilians, always driven by a mission to protect and empower. Despite her incredible accomplishments, Valerie rarely spoke about her famous father. She preferred to let her actions, not her connections, define her. But everything changed in May 2018, when Clint Walker passed away just days shy of his 91st birthday. In a rare and heartfelt moment, Valerie offered a simple tribute. He was a warrior, just for words, yet within them, she captured the essence of the man who had endured pain, hardship, and fame with unwavering strength and grace. Her silence was broken not for attention, but for truth. Valerie's tribute struck a chord. It wasn't long or elaborate. It didn't need to be, because it reflected exactly who Clint was, a man of few words and great strength. In the years since his passing, Clint's legacy has undergone a quiet resurgence. Fans have rediscovered his work on platforms like Reddit, YouTube, and classic film forums. Opinions, of course, vary. Some modern viewers critique his acting style as stiff or wooden. Others debate whether his roles were emotionally complex or simply archetypal. But even critics concede one thing: Clint Walker was unforgettable. His deep, velvety, non-nasal voice left a lasting impression. His physical presence, towering and stoic, became the standard for the classic Western hero. Whether praised or critiqued, he was never ignored. Beyond the screen, Clint's contributions to the Western genre were officially recognized. He received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame at 1505 Vine Street, near Sunset Boulevard, a permanent tribute in the heart of Tinseltown. In 2004, he was inducted into the Hall of Great Western Performers at the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum in Oklahoma City, an honor reserved for the icons of the genre. He also earned the prestigious Golden Boot Award in 1997, and in 2017 was honored on the Texas Trail of Fame in Fort Worth, further cementing his legacy among the giants of Western culture. Even after stepping away from film and television, Clint Walker's creative spirit didn't fade. In a serendipitous meeting facilitated by fellow actor James Drury, Clint connected with respected Western author Kirby Jonas. What started as a casual conversation turned into a 2-year collaboration that resulted in the novel Yaqui Gold. The story, rich with themes of honor, survival, and frontier grit, echoed the very qualities Clint embodied throughout his life. It was his final gift to the genre he loved, and a testament to the quiet storyteller behind the camera. Clint never needed loud praise. He didn't hunger for celebrity status. He didn't chase attention on talk shows, red carpets, or gossip magazines. His life was lived with intention, discipline, and authenticity. Even at the height of his fame, he chose solitude, nature, and meaningful work over Hollywood excess. He was content to walk his own path, even if that path meant walking alone. In a world that often rewards volume over virtue, Clint Walker stood apart. He was the living embodiment of the strong, silent type of man who didn't need to speak loudly to be heard. Through every heartbreak, injury, and storm, he carried himself with quiet strength and grace, and in the end, the world didn't just lose an actor, it lost a real-life cowboy, a fighter, a father, a man who stayed true to himself. As Valerie Walker's simple but powerful words remind us, he was a warrior. And some warriors don't need a battlefield to prove it. They just live with honor, love deeply, fight quietly, and leave behind a legacy that whispers louder than any roar. To this day, the image of a lone cowboy riding into the sunset echoes the quiet strength of Clint Walker, a true hero on and off screen. If his story moved you, give this video a like, share it with fellow Western fans, and don't forget to subscribe for more untold Hollywood legends. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.